Welcome to this explainer. Look, if you're building enterprise extensions, you already know your data is almost never just sitting neatly in one place, right? So today, we're going to demystify exactly how to seamlessly integrate, mock, and deploy external APIs using the SAP Cloud Application Programming Model, or CAP for short.
Let's dive right into a fundamental architectural challenge we all face. You've got an app, maybe you want to split it into microservices, or you just need to pull in data from existing systems. The big question is, how do you wire all of this up without creating this fragile, totally unmaintainable mess of custom HTTP clients and manual data mapping? It can get ugly fast.
Well, the crucial point here is CAP's core philosophy, which is simply, everything is a service. Literally. This means your remote services, they're treated exactly like your local ones. You just model them using Core Data Services, CDS, just like you would for your own local database entities. This uniformity is absolutely massive. It's what gives CAP its power, letting you use the exact same querying APIs and design patterns no matter where that data actually lives.
So today, we're walking through the actual software development lifecycle. We'll hit integrating remote services, importing external APIs, local mocking strategies, queries and service mashups, and finally, destinations and cloud deployment.
Starting off with Section 1, integrating remote services. Let's ground this in a real-world scenario so we know exactly why we're doing this.
Imagine you're building a local risk management app, okay? You need to instantly block sketchy suppliers. But here's the catch. Your risk data is local, but those suppliers, they live miles away in a remote SAP S/4HANA cloud system. So how do we bridge that gap? We essentially want to fetch that remote supplier list, show it on the UI, and let users do risk assessments that join this remote and local data together seamlessly.
All right, moving to Section 2, importing external APIs. How do we actually pull that remote supplier definition right into our code?
The whole process is incredibly streamlined. First, you hop over to the SAP Business Accelerator Hub and grab the API specification. For OData, you're looking for that EDMX file, basically the XML blueprint of your data. Then you just run CDS import in your terminal and point it at that file. CAP automatically translates it into CDS format in your SRV/external folder and registers it as an external service in your package.json. Boom! Just like that, CAP knows the exact shape of your remote data.
Now here is a massive pro tip for you. Do not just expose that imported service definition directly. Instead, build a model projection in your own namespace. Map only the specific fields you actually need. You can even alias them to make them cleaner. By doing this, you're building a protective shield. If the external API changes down the road, your app's logic won't just shatter. You're completely decoupling your logic from the external system's exact schema.
Which brings us to Section 3, local mocking strategies. Because let's be real, we need to test this integration locally without accidentally blowing up a live production system.
CAP gives you some great options here. You could just drop a CSV file into your data folder for basic in-process mocking. It's super fast, sure, but it doesn't really act like a real HTTP service. To avoid that classic, well, it works on my machine bug, you'll want to spin up the mock as a separate OData service in a totally new terminal process. Doing this means your main app makes real HTTP requests, perfectly mimicking what'll happen in your production environment.
A quick warning though, when you're setting this up, that CDS import command, it leaves empty keys, those blank curly braces, on associations. If you try to mock these blindly, it will break, no question. You actually need to create a local copy of the CDS file and replace those braces with an explicit on condition to properly mock those relationships. Just a heads up, don't change the keys in a way that turns it into a managed association, or you are definitely going to get runtime errors.
Okay, Section 4, queries and service mashups. Once it's all tested, it's time to write the actual code.
And this works beautifully whether you're a Node.js or a Java developer, because CAP treats remote systems just like local databases. You get all your standard CRUD operations, actions, functions, and even OData version 4 search capabilities right out of the box. But be smart about it. Always use methods like .limit. Seriously, you do not want to accidentally download an entire remote database in a single request. That's a bad day for everyone.
Now, mashing up services really forces a tough architectural choice: transient access versus replication. Transient gives you live data and remote permission evaluation, which is great, but network lag is going to hurt your performance. Replication, on the other hand, is lightning fast, and filtering is a total breeze. But your data, it's stale until the next sync. You really just have to pick your poison based entirely on what your specific app actually needs.
And a word of caution here, if you go with transient access and link a local risk to a remote supplier, CAP can't just automatically join them for you. You're crossing a boundary here. You have to write custom handler functions to manually intercept and route complex queries. For example, if a user requests a massive $expand to see all supplier details, you might actually want your handler to reject that query just to save system performance and avoid blowing past URL limits.
Let's bring it all home with Section 5, Destinations and Cloud Deployment.
Before you even think about pushing to production, you're going to want to use the CDS bind command. This is super cool. It injects cloud service keys directly into your local development environment. This hybrid testing approach basically lets your local code securely hit the actual SAP Business Technology Platform, or BTP, so you get to prove your connectivity actually works before you ever trigger a deployment.
When it finally is time to deploy, your MTA, your multi-target application, needs specific configurations to securely traverse the network. Your microservice is going to require 3 critical bindings. First, XSUAA handles your authentication. Second, the destination service resolves the remote URL and credentials. And third, optionally, the Cloud Connector bridges you securely back to an on-premise SAP landscape.
Now, I want to share a really fantastic optimization. If you're just mashing up 2 of your own microservices on the exact same tenant and they share the same XSUAA instance, you don't even need a BTP destination. You can just configure your app to forward the authorization token directly. It is faster, it's simpler, and it keeps your overall architecture incredibly clean.
As we wrap up this explainer, I really want to leave you with this final thought. You've seen how CAP unifies the developer experience, right? It seamlessly blends your local databases with remote APIs using a single, consistent toolset. So knowing that literally everything is a service and seeing firsthand how easily you can project, mock, query, and mash up remote data, what are you going to build next?